to meet you.
Thanks for taking a minute. Where are you located?
I'm in Munich, Germany.
Okay, wonderful. Well, hey, thank you for taking a minute out. I love the new album. And before we get into that, I'm wondering, how did you survive the pandemic as a musician? How did you get through the last 3.5 years? And how did it change you?
Oh, it was kind of tough. Um, the state didn't really care for the musicians that much, and so I had to, ask my parents for some money and try to rent out my apartment for a while, stuff like that. So that really impacted me, of course, thinking about the future uh, without any safety in the business. But I made it through, and since then it's been great for me. So I'm trying to not look back too much on it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. So the brand new album, Books Bossa, I'm curious, how does it feel to have this album out now and to kind of have a new beginning and live shows and all of that?
It's great. Um, it was really a dream come true to be in that studio and with the musicians I'm looking up to for years. So yeah, it was a dream come true, and I hope, of course, with that album, my recognition is gonna, get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So how did you, from an artistic standpoint, how did you put these songs together on the album?
I just was looking for the stuff I really like listening to. I'm trying to make music that I would enjoy myself listening to. So I was just going through my record collection and trying to find songs that I like to play, and I think the musicians like to play, and they sound good on, and I sound good on, and then just put it together.
So what are you hoping the listener gets from this album?
Uh, I really like to have a variety. I have to I like to have a nice ballad with a really different feel. A really nice melody and more space to, more like a romantic sound. And then I like some blues in there that makes people, feel good. And then some groove stuff like Books Bossa, that makes people uh, tap their toes or dance or something like that.
So talk to me, I know you started out on the piano and moved to the drums. Talk to me a little bit about
Yeah.
how this love of music and more specifically jazz became who you are today.
Well, I didn't really start listening to jazz until I was 20, I think. So before that, it was like rock and roll and funk music maybe and soul, but no jazz. And I didn't have any jazz collections at home with my parents. So it started pretty late, but my dad took me to a jazz festival when I was 19 maybe. And I heard this trumpet player, I'm sure you know him, Brian Lynch.
Yeah.
And I mean, not even the drummer, but somehow Brian and his trumpet playing really caught me. And then I thought, wow, jazz is something nice, something special. So then I started listening to jazz.
Who were some early influences, some early albums that you listened to that made an impact?
Mm, well, first I didn't have any albums, so it was basically all the local musicians. So I just would go out on jam sessions or concerts and hear people play without any stuff at home. But then I asked my teacher back then, who should I check out? And he said, check out Charlie Parker and the Dial sessions and the Savoy sessions, and check out Philly Joe Jones.
Yeah.
So probably I would say Max Roach and Philly Joe were my main two guys at first.
And then so you came to New York City and learned with Joe Farnsworth. Talk to me about that time of your life.
I met Joe in Vienna when I was studying in Vienna, and he gave a master class, and I had never heard anything like that live before. The way he sounded on the drums was so special and so new to me. So I thought I have to take more lessons with him and hang out with him. So after that, every year I would go to New York for a couple of weeks, twice a year maybe, and just hang out with him and go to every gig he was playing. And yeah, he was talking to me about all the stuff he learned from his teachers and from his experience. And I can't thank him enough for everything he taught me and showed me.
So what do you like the best about being a professional musician? What do you look forward to the most?
Uh, Mostly being in different places. That's a really great thing. You know, you can visit so many cities that you would never go to in your life, and you actually get paid for it. You know, you don't have to pay to go on vacation. You can travel so much, and also the connection between the musicians. There's a community going on, and between the audience and the musicians. There's something special about that.
So I always hear there's a special connection in Europe with jazz that's different from America. There's a different level of appreciation. So what is the scene like in Munich? What's going on?
Well, Munich used to be, I think, one of the best cities for jazz, but that was in the 80s, 90s. So, and now it's more has shifted towards modern European music, I would say. So for the jazz that I like doing, it's I have to find people. You know, there's always some people, but it's not too many musicians that
S-
are doing the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. So talk to me a little bit. Are you touring back to America? Do you have any plans on coming back, or how does it work for you? Like, are you stationed in Europe? How do you tour? How does that work?
Most of my touring is in Europe,
Okay.
I would say. So, um, yeah, and I have a couple of nice stuff coming up all over Europe. But for the States, I hope I can come back next spring or summer because I have a friend of mine who's studying in New York and he wants to record another CD in New York with me on drums. So I hope I can do that.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans, but you ultimately are in control. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Hmm, that's an interesting question. Um, I would say I'm a good listener for foremost, most, and yeah, I like to sit down and listen to the other players and try to put my stuff in there somehow, but you know, not drown anybody, and yeah, just be an empathetic musician. You know,
So if you could get into a time machine and see any jazz performance, who would you
hmm
love to go see live?
it has to be Billy Higgins.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have really dreams about meeting him or seeing him play. And of course, Joe, my mentor, he was talking so much about seeing Billy play and how relaxed he was and how his posture was. So that would be my first.
So, I always ask musicians about right now, now that music's coming back, it's more live, a lot of more albums are coming out. How strong do you believe the jazz community is in 2023?
Um, I would say it's getting stronger and stronger again. Maybe there was a decline for years or decades even, but I think it's coming back, and especially with social media, people can connect pretty easily. Uh, Especially, I mean, for me, all over Europe, it's easy to connect, and we all try to contribute something and to work together, network. So I think getting better and better.
Yeah. So do you have any live shows planned? What's coming up for you as we kind of end 2023 and move into a new year?
I have a nice gig in Istanbul with the great Dina Di Rose.
Yeah.
She's from the States, and then I go to this very famous festival in Europe, the Perugia Umbria Jazz Festival, and we have 5 gigs there in Umbria in December.
Excellent. So if anybody wants to pick up books Bossa, they want to learn more about you, reach out, anything involving the album, how can they do that?
I'm on Instagram. I have my own website. You can reach me there via email. I think those are the best.
Okay,
to
excellent.
reach me.
Hey, thank you so much for taking time out today. It's a wonderful album. I've really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to play it for the people. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.
You bet.